Calling all misfits, rebels, leaders, and teachers, welcome to the one place where the only way to fit in is by standing out, where big goals are met with even bigger action, and where we talk through then tackle all things entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Kelsey Knudsen, and this is the Get Shit Done podcast. Welcome to the Revolution. Real talk. Would you work for you? Would you work for you? Odds are, if you're going to be real honest, the answer might be no. And here's why. It's because you don't know how to lead yet. And here's what's cool. If you're solo right now, this episode is actually for you because it means that figuring out these 5 things I'm going to share with you now is going to set you up so much better for future contractors, collaborations, and potential employees if that's how you want to grow your business. And it's going to make your life a lot easier. So here's how we know you would not work for yourself. You are not a good, effective leader yet. Number 1, you're great at crossing off to-dos, meaning you tackle the weeds. You are in the weeds. You're in the garden of your business and you are tackling the little things, the emails. You are making sure that captions are spelled correctly on Instagram. You are doing all the tiny tasks, the things that you can write on a sticky note and cross off. And that is where all your time is spent. Yes, you're an effective employee, but at that point, you're not being a great leader. Here's how else you know. Number 2, you're good at providing services to your clients. And if you have downtime, you book more services. So if you're a hairstylist, maybe that means you're 5 days behind the chair. And especially if you have a team of people, my question to you is, are you really pouring into your team at that point? Just some food for thought, but I'm speaking to majority solo people today. So if you're solo and you're wanting to eventually grow a team, or maybe you have some contractors that you work with seasonally, how many days of the week are you really spending on client-facing stuff versus other things? Indication number 3, that you may not work for you. No shame in talking about products and services at networking events or online, meaning you are constantly promoting your product or service, but you're not focusing on the growth of your business. So would you work for you in that sense? You are promoting the small things and not the big things. And maybe you're not specific within that. This is not to say you are not equipped to be a leader. This is just to bring some awareness to the fact that leadership may be new for you. And the best place to start improving your leadership is with yourself. Here's the deal. If you are a business owner who wants to hit that first $100,000 in revenue, you eventually have to recognize one of the hats you have to wear involves being a leader, even if it's just for you. So here is what I want you to really, really think about. You're doing all of those things well. You market, you take great care of your people, you're crossing off to-dos, you're checking a lot of boxes as far as being an entrepreneur. But here's the missing link. Here's where you need to focus. What is your plan for the next month, the next quarter, the next year? What is the vision? What is the mission? What are the projects? What are you focusing on? What are you improving? What are you fixing? What are you keeping? What are you not keeping? And recognize that you need to have the answers to that. No one provides that for you. I have a group coaching offer. I'm going to tell you about it at the end of this, but I have a group coaching offer that can help with a lot of it. But the secret behind successful entrepreneurship is recognizing that no one is coming to save you. It is 100% on you. You don't have to be alone in it, and you can find mentors and support in helping you in the execution of that. But at the end of the day, it's on you. So here's some things I want you to consider when you're thinking of, would you work for yourself? Would you like to be an employee of you? Here's some things I want you to really think about. Do you have a vision for the next year? And I'm recording this end of September. You're going to be listening to this in October. Have you thought about next year at all? Are you aware of what your focus will be for the overall business? Have you thought about what just the vision is? What is the essence of your brand? Where are you headed next year? Have you thought about it? Here's something else to consider. Do you have consistent KPIs you are tracking? Do you know what KPIs are? KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator. And it's become one of my obsessions because I think that the word success and good and working. I think those things are so vague. And when it comes to making business decisions, it's important to come from a place of data and understanding. And KPIs, in my opinion, are the solutions to that. So are you consistently tracking some? And are you iterating and modifying as you go along and coming up with new ones or changing them to fit the needs of your business? Odds are, if you're listening to this episode, probably not. Probably not. Is your marketing plan bringing in hell yes clients? This is something that kind of broke my brain this year specifically, but I have this podcast, I've had it for years, and recently went through a rebrand, and we were talking about me in person versus me online. And I believe you could tell me, but I feel like I do a pretty good job being authentic, being genuine, being like you meet me in person or online and it's same. But where I missed the mark previously is I would play really small. I would create content like this for you for a wide range of business levels. And I had someone at one point say, "Oh, I love your podcast. It's great for people who are just getting started in business." And I wanted to stab my eyes out because that's not who I envision listening to this. And I don't think that's the majority of my listeners. I mean, if you disagree or you have thoughts, please message me on Instagram. I'm on there and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But that made me realize, wow, Kelsey, I can be authentic, I can be genuine, I can be true to me, but I'm still missing the mark. So my question to you is your marketing bringing in those hell yes people? Getting a comment like that, didn't feel good, and it made me realize I was speaking to a wider net than I actually work with. So I'm going to say it now. Right now, currently, month of October 2024, if you are $50,000 and you're either close to or within sight of hitting your first 100,000 in revenue and you've been wanting to work together, I have built an offer just for you. But typically, my sweet spot is that multi 6 to 7 range currently. But this new offer is the solution, the missing link in my offer suite for that $50,000 to $100,000 mark. So if that's you, let's definitely talk. I'm excited to have a new offer for that. But when it comes to the marketing side of things, I have to own my stuff and make sure I'm delivering content that speaks to that hell yes ideal person. And it's something that I got wrong before. So odds are, if you're honest with yourself, you might be getting that wrong right now. And that's worth consideration. Here's another question for you. Do you know what % of your revenue goes to costs? Are you saving for taxes? Are you saving for taxes at all? Do you know how much is going to your team? Maybe you have contractors. How much of your revenue is going to them? And then what are you getting in return of that investment? Did you hire a coach? What are you getting in return in that investment? Do you know what your profit is? I said in the last episode that the people I'm working with are becoming profit obsessed. And I think that's a good thing because revenue is great, fine dandy. It's nice to know, hey, I sold a coaching package and this is how much I made. That's great. But profit to me is really where it's at because it tells you not only that you were able to sell that money, but you were also able to spend within reason. And profit is something that I'm talking about more and more with my clients. So my question to you is, do you even know what it is? And do you have any? And these points of reflection and holding the mirror up to you today and helping you recognize that part of being a business owner is also being the visionary. It's being the strategist. It's being the planner. It's being the auditor. And it's being the decision maker. This may be a huge gap in your business. I say this a lot that in entrepreneurship, there's seasons, right? And for some of us, there may be a season of business happening to you, meaning people are asking for your products and service. You're getting a lot of clients word of mouth and things are pretty good. Like if you look at your schedule, you look at the paycheck, things are pretty good. But if you pause and you're honest with yourself and you're really thinking about what's next for you and your goals and where you really want to take this thing and you're not there yet, this may be the missing link. This leadership, this strategy, decision, vision side of things may be the missing link for you. And I just want you to be aware of that. And I also want to tell you that you don't have to navigate it by yourself. So as I said in the middle of this, that I typically work with a multi 6 to 7 in revenue. That's my sweet spot. I have built this custom new offer. It's called CEO Bootcamp. It's specifically for people who are solo, that 50 to 100 range. You may have a contractor or two that you work with, but it's really to help you get your shit together. It's building a solid foundation in your business. I will help you identify those KPIs. I will support you in communicating and sharing your vision and hold you accountable to auditing what's working and not working in your systems. I will help you get your systems in order, your SOPs. We're going to talk about KPIs. We're going to talk about profit and how to track it and how to set goals around that. And if all of that sounds interesting to you, I want you to first not be embarrassed that this episode may have like brought up some feels for you. But I also want you to know the solution is CEO Bootcamp. It's a live group coaching offer for this group that I typically don't work with anymore, that I'm really, really excited to help because I just think there's something so pivotal in that trajectory of business ownership. When you can get to that first 100K, it really proves that you're doing the damn thing. And I want to help you get your stuff together now to help really build a solid foundation for wherever you want to grow beyond there. That's what CEO Bootcamp is all about. And you're along like-minded entrepreneurs. It's a course with templates and group calls, and it's just the best of all the different parts of entrepreneurship. It's the one thing you need to help support the operations of your business. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely come check us out, kelseymarienknutson.com/CEO Bootcamp. We're super excited to have you there. And this will be kicking off beginning of November 2024. If you're listening after and you still find this helpful and you don't see CEO Bootcamp on my website, send me a message on Instagram because I would love to know that this is something that would be valuable and helpful for you. So all of this to say, just because today you would not want to be an employee of yourself, there's things you can do to fix it, and I'm here to help. I believe in you. I hope you recognize that one of the hats you get to wear is a leadership hat, and there are tools out there to help make you effective and efficient in your leadership, even if it's just you for now. So that's what I have. Catch you next week. Hey, thanks for being a part of the Get Shit Done revolution. My hope is this episode sparked a fire in you, equipped you with some practical next steps, or inspired you to take action towards your goals. If it did, please help spread the word by sharing this episode or leaving a review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're tuning in. Now it's time for me to hand over the keys and let you get shit done.